a magic sword stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal in time and flung him into the future, where my evil is law. Now the fool seeks to return to the past and undo the future that is Aku.
1, 2, 3, 4. Midnight with broadcasters. You're watching the show.
Thanks, Greg.
Different tunes.
Jeez, use an open F, Sam.
Sorry.
Come on, open Fs are great. Why is everyone always hating on open Fs?
Because it sounds gross.
They're doing a TV show.
You guys can still talk. It's cool.
Yeah. Hey guys,
no one cares about cracking at midnight.
we're late.
Talk about everything
We're
we
late
say.
because there's these assholes these two shitheads who actually live here. Oh, wait, only one shithead. We're only, not even. You don't even have the pull of two shitheads.
I'm outnumbered by shitheads.
We're throwing the people who actually live here out of their own basement to do our show. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah, we already did that. We already did that.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cracking at Midnight with Brian the Best, dude.
So, now we're actually starting, and I want to tell you, I had a really shitty day.
Did you?
Yeah, and
Why was your day so shitty?
my legs hurt, and I was tired,
That sounds pretty bad.
and all the stuff broke.
All of the stuff broke.
Like, pretty much all of it.
Wow.
I had to like rebuild an optical printer from scratch.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
And then
right.
Final Cut, and then I quit.
And then Final Cut, and then Brian quit.
And probably some other shit in the way.
Command D. Auto death.
Oh,
Command D. Control. Alt F4.
Just no, it's Command X. I think.
Command X. Yeah, Command X. Command X.
So yeah.
Streamer 00335. It believes in God. Anyway, so yeah, we have some stuff.
And once again, 1,129 people.
Yeah, man, it's always
And
gonna say that.
Why didn't it?
Because I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. We're gonna talk about some stuff tonight. I had an okay day. I played some Minecraft. I went to dinner at a really good restaurant that I also work at with a girl who's pretty cool.
Who he also works with.
No, I went with Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Care was working
Okay.
at the time.
That's how you refer to Care, by the way. It's this girl I know who's really cool when you're talking to
That's how I
somebody
refer
else,
to pretty much everybody.
including me.
Yeah, this chick I know is pretty cool.
So
it's okay.
We're gonna
We got a lot of stuff going on.
Tonight's it's been a busy, interesting.
Like
week.
3 days, honestly.
Yeah.
We want some gum?
Oh yeah, I want some gum. I want some chapstick too.
Yeah,
I want some ice
my
cream.
chapstick. Oh, I love it.
I got my day sucked, so I bought ice cream.
Nice. Oh, I ate it all.
Oh no, you didn't.
Anyway, so yeah, we've got a really good show for you this evening.
First and by far most importantly, the Fenghua bus, the legendary Fenghua bus. Boston-based bus company moving between South Station and Chinatown in New York City.
New York Biddy.
Run probably by the Chinese mafia. I mean, I'm only assuming. Was shut down. Not by one State Department, by many at once, who seem to have organized a sting against Fenghua.
I mean, which is perfectly valid, to be completely honest.
Yeah, in case you don't know the Fenghua and what the Fenghua does, it's
basically...
It's a $15 bus from Boston, New York, which is unheard of cheap. And the buses are like, it's like there's probably horses.
It's basically if you
dragging
took cow manure and built it into the shape of a bus and then lit that on fire and then got in it and drove to New York. That's basically what the Fenghua is. That was a good picture.
Yeah.
It waited just long enough for you to do that. Anyway, so yeah, the Fenghua is done. Dunzo!
Basically, like, the Department of, I don't know who they all
Homeland
are.
Security. The Department of Homeland Security.
Like the National Transportation Department and, like, smaller, guys who deal with licensing and bus or public transportation inspection. These guys all, like, got together in a basement and were like, we gotta stop the Feng WOAHH. Because they were driving off the road. These drivers were apparently doing, like, 6 runs back and forth to New York in a row, and they were up, like, 48 hours straight. It was a wreck. And they were tumbling over, and they were breaking down. I've been on them when they break down. It was a total mess.
Yeah.
But it was great, and everyone kept taking them because it was still $15.
Because it's hilarious.
And because it's hilarious.
I love taking the Feng WOAHH. You never know what's going to happen. It's a risk every time. It's like an adventure before you even get to your destination.
Yeah. But, and they're not shut down, by the way. They couldn't shut down the company.
No, they just
but they
got
totally
rid of
froze
the buses.
All their buses are off the road. For a while, they were chartering other buses.
But they don't have that kind of money.
Well, then, actually, South Station threw them out. So they're trying to find another base of operations in Boston.
Oh, man, you should do the Monkey Palace. Just like Biner Street.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty sad. Feng WOAHH, they're struggling. They're trying to get in there. All they're trying to do is provide semi-safe, more affordable transportation. That's all they're trying to do. I don't know what you just tapped on the paper.
Do that one next. We can trade. We can shimmy.
Okay.
I'm so fried today, man. What's the word where one of us does one thing and then the other does another thing?
Alternate.
Alternate. There you go.
So,
Shimmy.
in global news, I'm gonna do that one first. In more local news, but has global effect, global repercussions. A young girl. This has been the news all day. A young girl who's 2.5 years old in Mississippi that was born with HIV has supposedly been cured of HIV.
We live in Mississippi.
No, it's local as in domestic, as in the United States.
Okay, domestic and local are different. Whatever.
No, local as in the global community.
Shut up.
Is local.
Cured HIV.
Cured HIV is a strong thing. That's the headline.
That's what you just said.
And I'm correcting myself now.
Okay.
Cured HIV is a strong word. Strong way to put it. It's more that she is without infection. So she's been on a cocktail of drugs for a really long time, and what seems to be happening is that it is easier to cure HIV in infants. Is basically what's happening. It'll be easier to cure these supposedly incurable diseases in infants, which is probably because their bodies are still growing, their cells are still
developing, their
evolving
immune system,
developing, and all that stuff. But it's still pretty cool that they apparently cured HIV in a human, which I think that's pretty cool. So this has all sorts of really awesome potential behind it. HIV started back in, I believe, in Africa in the 20th century. I don't know if it actually started in Africa, but many claims that it started in Africa in the 20th century and then exploded in the 1980s. And over the past 30 years, there's been hundreds of thousands.
Just in case you've never heard of AIDS.
If not millions of deaths to HIV and AIDS.
And what a disease is.
In the past 30 years.
Is it's something that makes you so, like, your health and, like, the system, like, your body running properly, that stops and things stop working right. It's called being sick.
Did that really need to be said?
Do we really need to explain what HIV is?
Well, no, I was just giving some facts. I was providing some background on the issue.
Okay.
In case many people don't know. Did you know how many people have died from AIDS in the past 30 years?
Oh, shitload. You didn't know either. You said probably millions.
It's better than a shitload, though.
My guess would have been
on.
roughly the same. Dennis Rodman, famous freak show basketball player, and Men in Black 1 referencee, Dennis Rodman, when I can't honestly tell from what I've read if it was as a delegate of the U.S. government or on completely his own initiative.
It's his own initiative. I swear it's his own. No.
Went
Why would the United States government send, of all
They
people,
sent Dennis Rodman to North Korea. Why? Because Kim Jong-un is a huge basketball fan. And Dennis Rodman apparently took it upon himself to go parley with North Korea now that they're seeming so dangerous. And the fucked up thing is it, like, worked. And they're like chums now. Dennis Rodman actually said, I don't condone what he does, but person to person, I consider Kim Jong-un a friend. He said that. And apparently he was like, Kim Jong-un, you like basketball? And he's like, he's a huge basketball fan. And he was like, yeah, I love basketball. And he says, you know who also loves basketball? Barack Obama. And this conversation actually happened. That Dennis Rodman went to the peace table with North Korea on the basis of everyone likes basketball. This is the reality of Earth. That's just too cool. There's pictures all over the internet. They're really friggin' weird. Look them up. I don't know that much more about it. I've been reading here and there. But that's the way I understand it right now. And actually, Kim Jong-un, not that it counts for that much, but actually released an official statement in the past couple of days that says he is not interested in going to war with the United States of America. And I think...
He said that?
Yeah, he said that. And I think Dennis Rodman pretty much took care of that for us.
I feel like that would have been bigger news.
It will be. Don't worry about it.
No, it doesn't.
I know
That's
all
not
this.
how news works.
I know all this shit before other people do.
Anyway, in more global news, on the other side of, even though things are looking up in North Korea, apparently they're looking biblically down in other parts of the world.
Which I consider up myself, but that's just me.
There's a plague of locusts currently in Egypt, which isn't such an uncommon thing, to be completely honest. There's locusts anywhere that there's dry weather and crops, and apparently the weather conditions were just right this year, or right now rather, in northern Africa, that a lot of 300 million or something like that locusts hatched and are now plaguing Egypt and on their way to Israel.
Bam!
Literally, hang on. I'm getting this from the sciencespacerobots.com blog, which is apparently a reputable news source. 30 million locusts in the massive swarm. Blah 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 blah. Stuff is happening. Locust swarms can devour large. This isn't new. That's not what I want. Cairo residents are setting tires on fire to keep away the locusts. Israel is on high alert for the locust plague.
Take that, Israel.
I'm gonna click on that high alert. Oh, CBS News. Israel on high alert as locusts hit neighboring Egypt.
Also, I want to talk more about this blog now that I know that's there. If it's the science, I get the science, but it's a science, space, and robots blog. So are they robot locusts from space?
It's news about science, space, and robots.
Okay. Does space and robots not count as science? Is that?
No, it's science and space and robots.
Okay.
If you just said science, that wouldn't be as catchy.
I guess.
A science blog? It's boring. Let's look at a science blog.
I'd be more interested at looking at it without the science, just the space and robots blog.
That'd be cool too.
Space and robots.
I just watched Star Trek for that though.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of space, we don't have a lot of space news this week. Surprisingly, it's not a heavy space week.
It's not really that surprising since space is mostly empty.
Yeah, but they've discovered after the happenings of a couple weeks ago with the Russian comet, and then the next day the comet that passed very very close to Earth, DR12 whatever. They found a comet headed for Mars. Comet C/2013 A1, aka Siding Spring. Smells very good. Is apparently headed towards Mars and is going to pass them in October. Going to pass Mars in October of 2014. They're saying this it may not hit it but there's a good chance it's going to pass really, really, really close, within 100,000 kilometers, which is very, very close. And
is that, now, just for reference, is that closer than the one that just passed us?
I don't know. But yes, it definitely is. They're saying it's probably going to pass within 37,000 kilometers, which is the height of, bless you, the height of satellites that are orbiting Earth. So it's going to pass really, really close to Mars. And comets have little bits of ice and dust and gas shooting off them all the time as they heat up when they get closer to the sun. They're farting all over the place. So their direction is constantly changing. So they don't think it's going to hit, but they don't really know because comets are a little hard to really calculate how, where they're going to hit. But there's a couple of cool things about this comet. Most likely it's coming from outside of our solar system for 2 reasons. First of all, its speed. It's not slowed down by any large bodies that exist in our solar system. It's not tied into that gravitational pull. It's going really, really, really fast. And also, it's going in the opposite direction it's going basically in retrograde motion, if you will, even though that's not what it is. It's going in the opposite direction from all the planets spinning around the sun. So if it does hit Mars, it'll be really cool because it's from a different place in space. It's been traveling, for a really long time. It's not part of our solar system, and it'll be hitting Mars extremely fast and hard. And
we got robots on Mars. So
and we got robots on Mars.
Maybe we can go check it out.
They say if it does hit Mars, the impact should yield a blast equivalent to that of 1 billion megatons of TNT. That's a lot of TNT. 1 billion megatons. It would be an impact on the same sort of scale that drove the dinosaurs that made the dinosaurs extinct 65 million years ago.
They were like, oh, God! Well, I'm thinking like driven as in driven to madness.
Driven to madness.
We can't handle this fucking asteroid.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? Let's just go extinct. We've been driven to this. This is our last option.
So yeah, they're saying it's probably not going to hit Mars, but I really hope it does, because that would be really cool. It'd make a really big crater. We'd learn lots of new geological things, both about the composition of Mars and what's under, the immediate surface of Mars.
It would be like doing surgery on Mars.
It'll be like the same time we shot that rocket at the moon just to see what the plume would look like. It's like that same sort of thing. We're going to learn a lot about Mars. That actually happened.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Like when it actually happened?
Yeah, I watched it. I was watching the NASA channel.
No, that's cool.
It was very boring, but all the guys cheered. It's pretty cool. And
blow up the moon.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, it hit. Anyway, so that's the space news.
Yeah.
Not a lot of space news.
I want to talk movies. Quick. It's been a little slow on movies. We talked about the Oscars. Who cares?
Oz the Great and Powerful comes out. I think at the end of this week.
Yeah, I haven't made my biased snap judgment about that yet. Usually by movies, but when they're this close to coming out, I've decided if they suck or not without having seen them yet.
Probably not gonna be very good.
No.
Well, I'm still probably gonna.
But how badly is it gonna suck? That's the question. What's up, Mark?
Oh.
But I did see the new Die Hard movie. Now let's talk about this. First of all, I want to give...
What was it called?
It was called It's a Good Day to Die Hard, which is a good title, seeing the direction that
I like Die Hard 2. That's my favorite title. With a Vengeance.
Yeah. Series has been pretty good with titles. But now, leading up to this, I actually had kind of a running Die Hard marathon with my girlfriend. And, what the fuck was I talking about?
Die Hard.
Oh, yeah. So, you all know, Die Hard is one of the crown jewels of action movies. It's friggin' awesome. The sequel was pretty good for an action sequel.
Do you mean number 2?
Yeah. Then the third one was like really, really awesome. And then they didn't make one for like 15 years or something like that. And then they made another one, and that one was awesome too. So it's
I saw part of it. It was okay.
This series is just like consistently great.
He flew a motorcycle into a helicopter.
Yeah.
What happened to him being a cop?
Huh? Well, dude, he's like done all this crazy shit so many times. That's the whole point. And who we're gonna get into this. There's a formula that works, and yet doesn't feel like a formula in Die Hard. And here's what it's like. The thing is that Bruce Willis in it is he's just this street cop who just for some reason gets caught up in all this crazy shit. And it's just like he's always just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No, but it's not that. It's how did he fly a motorcycle into a helicopter?
Well, that's the thing. Is like when he's doing stunts, he's never like, oh, I'm a badass. He's always like, holy shit, this is like the least shitty idea I have right now. And like tries was like, whoa, it worked. And like that's how they always work, you know? Same thing with him, like, you know, spelunking down the side of the building on the hose.
That makes sense, though. That's like, yeah,
Makes
duh.
a little more
and then
sense.
he gets his feet cut, and he's like, oh, my feet are cut. And then his feet are cut for the rest of the thing. Like, that's awesome.
But they kept upping the ante, though, you know? And they kept and here's the most important, they kept upping the ante with the plot, too. And here's the thing. I'm going to try not do spoilers.
I think at this point it's okay.
I really, as you can tell, liked the first 4 Die Hard movies. They're freaking great. And the 5th one, I watched it in the theaters, and I was like, huh. I didn't want to hate it, but it sucked. And it's a shitty sequel is not that big a deal. It's expected. But the frustrating thing about this is the series had already like ended and then come back and proved it had staying power. Like again and again. It was like over the hump. And then they blew it. And the reason they blew it was because they didn't. And I don't want to be one of the guys who said this is different and therefore it sucks. And this isn't. It didn't suck because it was unlike any other Die Hard movie. If it had been good in its own right, it would have been kind of okay. But it was mediocre at best on its own, and unlike any other Die Hard movie. So it kind of just failed.
So it's just a crappy action movie.
It's just a crappy action movie.
And he had another kid? Like, how many kids does he have?
He had 2. The kids were in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Still. What's better, Die Hard 5? Indiana 4? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Crystal
Indiana
Skull was
4.
awesome. Are you one of those Crystal Skull haters?
Crystal Skull's awesome.
Crystal Skull was great. Don't be that guy. Don't be a Crystal Skull hater. So mainstream. And I actually didn't see Mission Impossible 4.
I didn't either, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, so did I. James Roll's review of the new Die Hard. I did not. I actually waited until I saw it, and then I saw it and had forgotten. So I gotta do that now. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, it's just because again they kept upping the ante with the plot. It was like the first one was like, oh, there's a whole building full of hostages, and then the next one was like, multiple airplanes, and then the next one was like every school in New York and a bunch of other shit in New York and a bank. And then the 4th one was like, the world is gonna die, you know? Or like, you know, the entire grid of the United States was coming down. And then the 5th one, it's like, oh, purely internal mafia affairs in another country.
Lame.
Like, what the hell? It had nothing to do with anything. And Bruce Willis gets there, and he's like, the first thing he does is fuck everything all up. And like he snaps into his action cop mode.
He cuts some feet. He
cuts
his feet. He gets some glass out. And cuts
no, the
his
first
feet.
thing he does is he fucks up his son's like CIA mission. Which, first of all, his son is a totally bland character. Like nothing.
I mean, it's
just
Bruce
like,
Willis' son.
He's just like a big, strong dude. Like is useless. And he the first thing he does is fuck up his son's mission. And then, like, go chasing his son down, like, through Moscow, like, stealing cars and causing accidents and probably, like, really hurting some people and destroying property for no reason. He doesn't even know, like, who the bad guy is at this point or what's going on. He just, like, wants to chase his son down and scold him. And, like, it's ridiculous. And so, basically, like, all the stuff that made Bruce Willis. I'm forgetting why the hell can't I remember his name? John McClane. That makes John McClane like this. He's this hapless cop who just gets caught up in these crazy adventures. He like that's gone. So like he's like going and looking, and then gets involved with the CIA, and it's like that doesn't work. And the formula of the villains is gone, and it's stripped down to just a plain old shitty action movie.
Lame.
So
you know what I think they should do?
What?
You know what would make it more interesting?
What?
They should do a Die Hard Doctor Who crossover.
I'd watch it.
They should just Doctor Who and John McClane should team up and like go like fight space.
John
like,
McClane should
lions.
just be the companion for a season. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think Wilf was probably my favorite companion ever.
It
So
was good. I mean, it was no John McClane.
if we're gonna keep going
if you're
with
just doing male
old dudes.
female, then it's like
old males, old dudes rather than young women.
Hey Phil.
Let's go that direction. What's up, Phil?
So anyway, yeah, John McClane, he's a dude. He's got no hair, but that's okay because he fights crime and loves his wife.
Yeah.
So it's
Even
okay.
though she keeps fucking dumping him. Like, what did he do that was so bad that, like, he's always like, oh, yeah, I was always working, so my life left me. It's like, you also, like, fucking...
Also, I rescued her. Whenever I was working, I was rescuing her.
Also, I rescued her. I kept her from dying twice, and am a fucking badass. And
I'm a badass.
And rescued our daughter at the same time as the rest of the world. And now went to rescue her son, even though it turns out he didn't need it. So it's like, and she's gonna divorce you because you're never home.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
God.
You're better off without her, John.
What a
McClane.
dumb lady.
You don't need her.
What a dumb lady.
So yeah. Usually we end off savaging of films with, but don't take my word for it. I don't want to be too hard. Go see it, judge it yourself. Don't even fucking bother with this one.
I didn't even see it, and I hate it.
And this is going from a die-hard fan.
Whoa!
Oh.
Mark, what are you looking for?
I lost my sandwich. Here it is. It was the same color as the couch.
I lost my sandwich!
It was camouflage.
Moving on.
Okay, do you want to move on to...
Yeah, the next thing with the arrow. Look at
Okay,
the arrow.
this doesn't really even qualify as art and stuff.
Whatever, it's art.
It's
and
a painting, but it's more stuff than art. But
Okay, hang on a second.
We're gonna look at
Silence! Okay, you can talk again.
This is friggin' stupid, but we gotta watch it look at it because it's hilarious. These are I don't even know who did these. What's his name?
A person named Jason Hooser.
Made these. Show him the presidential seal up the top. Let's look at that first.
Boom!
President of the United States of America. Oh yeah.
Is that an alien skull?
Yeah,
on it
it's a
right there?
it's a predator skull.
Oh,
Actually,
predator
I think.
skull.
Yeah, with machetes.
Yeah.
So this dude just did these.
And look at the freaking stars, the power stars up there.
So he just did a bunch of these series of paintings of former presidents being badass. There's Reagan riding a raptor and
Firing an Uzi.
firing off a sub. There's
It's
Washington
George
with some
Washington as a
zombies.
zombie hunter. I like his red, white, and blue camo pants.
Oh, I didn't even notice that before. Lincoln on a bear.
What I assume is the Emancipation Proclamation, because the Gettysburg Address wouldn't be
Not
that long.
No.
John
F. Kennedy. No, the thing is, they all have like stories with them too, and they were dumb. But this one, it says that JFK actually they faked his assassination so they could send him to the moon to kill kill aliens.
I like the unicorn that the unicorn has a lightsaber for a horn, and that he's carrying around the dagger.
He looks kind of sad too. Look at him.
He does look a little sad.
Well, I think it's lonely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's J.F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
John Fitzpatrick Kennedy.
John F.K.
Then we have here's Teddy Roosevelt
shooting Bigfoot.
burning a forest and shooting Bigfoot.
There's another Bigfoot in the background. I didn't notice till we.
On fire. That one's on
He
fire.
already took care of that one.
This one's ironic because he, of course, was an environmentalist
But also a major
and
league
founder
hunter.
of national parks. Yeah,
So,
also a major league hunter. This one is the best.
Yeah, he's Thomas Jefferson is punching that gorilla and teaching him the importance of democracy at the same time.
And he with such a stoic attitude.
Yeah,
just
he's not like
this is what I have to do.
He's not angry about it. It's like he's really just giving him a lesson. It's for his own good.
There's FDR. This one's too long. Doesn't fit in the thing. Sorry. This is FDR. Since he didn't have use of his legs, he put himself in a robot.
Yeah, well, actually, this one's story says that the wheelchair transforms into a robot.
Nice.
And it looks like the Capitol got kind of trash in the background there. But
Well, he's clearly fighting an alien invasion.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Andrew Jackson, Alien Slayer.
Good thing he got the shittiest painting because he's the shittiest president.
Yeah, he's a butthead. And
Um,
then here's Ben Franklin, who's not a president, but still awesome. Ben Franklin versus Zeus.
yeah, I hope this guy didn't think Ben Franklin was ever president.
I like that he's got Wolverine claws.
Made of lightning. Actually, this one he says a pair of homemade lightning claws.
Nice.
As if he just like made them in his garage. Yeah. So this story was in.
This is a painting capturing the exact moment the battle started.
Yeah. We all know that he used the kite to kind of learn about electricity, but what we didn't know is that he actually flew up and stole the power of lightning from the god of lightning.
The title of this is Ben Franklin Acquires Electricity. I also like that there's $100 bills flying everywhere around him, and that
I keep noticing new
he's
things. I
got
hadn't
some
seen
kind
that.
of T-shirt underneath that says,
or is it a tattoo on his
I think
chest?
I'm pretty sure it's "I licked the Liberty Bell" from How I Met Your Mother. I'm pretty sure that's. I have to assume because I can't read it. That's "I licked the Liberty Bell." Anyway, yeah, good art and stuff, Brian. Well done. Well done.
Well, we're halfway through the show that we thought was going to be really full.
I
Or
chipped
should
my
you do?
tooth.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. I was just sitting upstairs. We were playing out the show. I was like, oh, my tooth feels weird. There's some food stuck to it or something. Like this.
Can I feel it?
No. And you can't actually feel it. I can feel it on my tongue. But yeah, I chipped the corner of my tooth off. And it's not that bad. But I don't know when it happened or how it happened. Like, I haven't eaten anything hard. I haven't gotten punched. Maybe my tooth is jumping out of my mouth.
Like going around,
Just like, fuck this!
getting in fist fights elsewhere.
Getting in fist fights by itself. You're not getting in enough fist fights. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Anyway, whoa, her hair is freaking out.
Yeah.
Also, I gave our cat Freya today. I put the rest of her catnip in a sock and tied it shut. And she's been having mouth sex with it all day. She's loving it. She's actually, when I left, she was asleep on my bed. Usually when she falls asleep in a place that she knows she's gonna have to vacate eventually, she like lays normally like a cat with like her paws underneath, and she doesn't kind of really go to sleep. This time she went on my bed. I was sitting there. She laid down on my bed, immediately like laid on her side, and just went completely to sleep. She is trash out of her mind. She is coming down hard off that catnip.
Yeah.
Like she was gone. I was petting her at one point, and she lifted her head and went, meh. And then like 2 seconds later, just went, like completely passed out. It was hilarious.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
My ankle hurts.
I have theories about why your ankle hurts.
Tell me.
First of all, when you're asleep, a shark bites you
Okay.
nightly. The shark that lives under your bed bites you. Second of all, your ankle is falling apart from the inside out. Literally falling apart from the inside out. Stop blowing your burps out. That's disgusting.
They stay in my mouth and my gum's gonna taste like them.
That's not how that works.
More theories about my ankle, please.
There's actually tiny men living inside your ankle and mining it out for apartments.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like, here's the thing, it doesn't hurt that bad. Yeah, thank you. It doesn't hurt that bad, but every time I take a step, I feel it and it's a little sore, but what hurts more than the actual pain of my ankle is the feeling that I'm getting that permanent damage is being done to it. My tendon is just wearing thin and it's just gonna fucking snap.
Another theory, another sleep theory. You're actually playing street hockey, like Mighty Ducks street hockey, D2 back in action. Is that what it was called?
No, it was just D2. The Mighty Ducks are back.
Oh, right, the Mighty Ducks are back. You're playing street hockey in your sleep, and you keep getting chopped.
Listen to this. You ever have
Yes.
You're at a vending machine and you need to make your selection, but there's several different things that have the same thing that you want, and you have to make the decision, and it's never arbitrary.
No, it's never arbitrary.
I always pick D2 in that situation because it reminds me of the Mighty Ducks movie.
What
Always.
What about D3?
D3, I've got no attachment to.
Okay.
If there's something in D3 and D2, it's always D2.
What about like E9? Do you still choose D2?
No. I mean, I don't just choose based on the number. I choose based between the options I have. And the other one that helps me out make those decisions is droid names.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
D9 always gets one because of 99.
99.
Who was the droid who ran the torture chamber at Jabba's palace.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have an interesting thing. Let me find it. You talk for a second. I gotta find something.
Yeah, I can talk my ass off, but when you tell me to talk, that's it. That's when I stop.
Yeah, you suck at that.
Nothing. Well, you suck at that too. What if I told you to talk right now?
I'm awesome at it.
You couldn't because you're typing shit.
Hang on, I gotta find this.
Since this has to do with Star Wars, nothing really happened with Star Wars this week. In case you missed last week, there's talk about the old gang, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. And apparently John Williams is talking about doing it amongst himself. No one's asked him to.
He's looking in the mirror.
He's just like, "Oh, I'll do it."
Hey, John, you want to do this?
Yeah,
I do.
No one asked you, John. But anyway, it is in discussion to get, which just tells us a little bit more about what the plot's going to be and where it's going to be in the timeline and all that stuff.
Yeah. I can't find what I'm looking for.
It's about Star Wars. I'm interested.
Yeah. Wait, I had some other Star Wars news. Well, it is big for Star Wars news this week because it was the season finale of Clone Wars.
Which I don't watch, but Sam says it's awesome, and I want to watch it.
A lot of people say it's awesome. A lot of people.
Name me two.
Me and Joel.
Oh, okay. Those are two people I trust on cartoons.
Yeah.
Almost nothing else.
Yeah, anyway, it was a big deal. Ahsoka Tano left the Jedi Temple after they kicked her out for wrongly accusing her of murder and stuff like that, and she was like, they were like, hey, by the way, that was the Force. That was your night trial, and you're a Jedi Knight now. So you can come back into the Jedi Order. And she was like, nah, I'm okay. And then she walks out. Anyway, okay, so this is a list. Wow, it looks just like my niece. The 12 worst things to happen in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. This is on the blog.
This isn't worst as in, I can't believe that guy died. It's so sad. Would have been actually the worst had you been in the universe. Just dumb as shit.
Yeah, so we're going to go through these pretty quick because they're pretty quick. First of all, Boba Fett and the Sarlacc. And this is not referring to the time when Boba Fett originally gets hit into the pit, the Sarlacc pit by Han Solo.
Because that story's really cool.
Yeah, and then decides not to die and crawls his way out of the Sarlacc pit.
Because here's the way it works, just for a little background. When Jabba the Hutt said, as you slowly devoured over 1,000 years, you're like, how does that work? You just starve. But no. When Sarlacc eats you, you get absorbed and become symbiotic with him from the inside as he eats you.
Yeah.
But Boba Fett was in there for months, and managed to escape because he
he's
had
Boba
the
Fett.
fucking force of will, Boba Fett style.
Yeah.
And eventually climbed out.
But anyway, so the worst part isn't that time. It is when Boba Fett falls into the Sarlacc again for a second time in a comic called The Jawas of Doom. He falls into the he's wandering around. He crawls out of the Sarlacc pit the first time, and then gets picked up by some Jawas who think he's a robot. So they take him around for a while, and then he remembers, and he doesn't remember who he is. And then all of a sudden he remembers that he hates Han Solo, and then he drives the sandcrawler that they're in into the Sarlacc pit.
And then,
just
I guess that's dumb.
That's pretty dumb.
I guess.
Second is the Crystal Star, which comes in a long line of Star Wars novels. This one is really bad. I haven't read it, but I remember the cover very clearly. Luke loses his Jedi powers, his Force powers, because a son nearby dies. The Solo children get kidnapped again. There's another Imperial officer. This is just a list of really bad things. There are centaurs and werewolves in this book, but the werewolves are spelled with a Y. They're werewolves. That's bad.
Yep.
In case you didn't know, the R5-D4 droid, the red droid from A New Hope, that breaks and they get
one with the bad
R2-D2 instead.
motivator.
The one with the bad motivator is actually named Skippy. In case you didn't know,
I always knew it as R5-D4. Where'd Skippy come
apparently, he is named Skippy and has the power of the Force, which he uses to keep the drinks that he's carrying on Jabba's sail barge from spilling.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Next is the Jedi Prince series, which I know nothing about. I've never heard of. Here's a short list of things that are bad about it.
I've read it. I don't think I've finished it.
The main character, Ken, is a collector of Star Wars toys in the Star Wars universe. The Emperor has 2 sons, and both of them are Triclopses. Darth Vader's glove is magic, and Luke Skywalker has 2 rescue whales, just like in Star Trek.
Yeah, I remember. I read this when I was in 5th grade, and I was trying to remember. I was like, why didn't I finish it? And
because it's so bad.
And I remember I stopped reading when there was the dude with the toys. I didn't even get to the whales, I don't think, but I remember them on the cover, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Next is the Third Law, which was a Marvel Star Wars comic back in the 90s, probably, in which Leia and the Rebellion's bank guy go somewhere to buy some X-Wings, and Vader's there, and then she fights Vader with guns, and they are doing stuff. I don't know. It's really bad though. Yeah. Oh, next is a good one. Star Wars Masters of Terras Cassie video game.
It's a tournament fighter.
Yeah. It was really bad. Apparently, really difficult to play. But that featured a Tusken Raider, what a horrible Tusken Raider, named Whore.
H-O-A-R.
Whore. The Tusken Raider. Whore. This one is actually debatable, I think. Clone names. So in the major the Star Wars novels, the Thrawn trilogy, Joris, what's his name? Joris Sabath, whatever his name is. Sabath clones Luke, and they put names, they put extra U's in all of the U names for the clones, and that's how they... Luke, it's L-U-U-K-E, and Joris Sabath is J-O-R-U-U-S.
I mean, that's...
Joris.
That's stupid.
It's just dumb. But also, clone names are also kind of awesome, because in the one of the better parts of the Clone Wars TV show is the attention they give to individual clones.
Well, think about it. Clones... They're genetically identical, but twins are genetically identical, and they don't have the same names.
That's true.
Or the same personalities, even.
That's true. And that's why they named them in the Clone Wars TV show, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Captain Rex and Commander Cody are both awesome characters.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's that. Number 8, getting right back to it, Star Wars The Clone Wars movie. So terrible that I don't even want it. Just so many things wrong with it. I don't even want to talk about it. The Sun Crusher is number 9, which was a ship that I know a little bit about. Well, also it says some stuff here, but I remember reading about it in the ships and blah 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 book.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the Sun Crusher was the ultimate ship that could destroy star systems and was like invincible and had a hyperdrive and just like it was just unstoppable. It just was the ultimate weapon that was apparently better than the Death Star, and that was really bad.
Well, what happened to him? It was so fucking ultimate. Why did they lose
thankfully,
the war?
Jedi apprentice Kip Duran flew the damn thing into a black hole.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah. Next is Bendorian, which appears to be a Hutt Jedi, which makes 0 sense. Why would there be a Hutt as a Jedi? Oh, but wait, he wasn't really a Jedi. As soon as he was a Jedi, he was actually a Sith. And apparently was able to fight as a Hutt, which doesn't really make much sense, because like, how would a Hutt move that fast?
Yeah.
It makes 0 sense. Next is the Ewok Adventure and the Battle for Endor.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Just TV specials, they were just hilarious.
I actually, those weren't TV specials. Those had fucking theatrical releases. I watched the show of those when I was a kid. I thought they were awesome.
No, the Christmas special was a TV.
No. Ewok Adventure and Battle for Endor. Those were theatrical releases. And I went and I watched them again about a year ago. I rewatched them and they didn't hold up.
No, because they're
to say
terrible.
the least.
And the last is the Mountain of Sorrow, which I only know from Adventure Time. I don't know what the hell this is. Apparently, it's something to do with Ewoks, where this mountain was alive and crying, and Nisa was there.
Let me explain to you what this image we're looking at is. It's a cartoon crying mountain. Looks very much like the crying mountain from Adventure Time. There was, and I'm surprised it's not on this list, an Ewok cartoon show in the early 90s. You know about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is from the Ewok cartoon show.
Yeah, that's probably what that is.
Yeah, look that shit up. Google that shit. It's for real.
It's called Ewok Adventure and Caravan of Courage.
Oh
no, it's called.
No, those were the movies.
Where is it? It's whatever. It doesn't matter. Look it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, though Gennady Tartakovsky version of the Clone Wars was really good, and this came out of that. But the TV show is really good, and you should watch it.
Yeah, TV show is great.
You should watch this TV show. It's very good. Moving on. That took a good 15 minutes.
We're just wasting fucking time.
That's okay. We got more stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah. We're gonna do tech talks.
Tech talks. Talking tech. Bloop bloop bloop. Bloop, bloop.
This is all your stuff. This is you.
You're not gonna talk about it too?
I mean,
you don't want to talk about that one?
Do it. You do it. You start. Sweet Pringles.
So North Korea. Ew, that looks gross. North Korea. Ew, don't eat that.
Let's see what it's like.
It's like old broken chips.
How old?
Are you really that hungry?
It's medium.
What's wrong with you? Anyway, so the Pirate Bay, popular torrenting website tracker, Pirate Bay has a lot of trouble finding a place where they can exist.
Last time we reported on them, they were were in the middle of one of their many eviscerations.
Yeah, which they have a lot of. And they're jumping around from country to country. Most recently, they were in Sweden and then moved to Norway. And they claim to be this because countries are hunting them down not because of their not because of the illegal sharing of copyrighted information on the website, but because the Pirate Bay is trying to share information just as information is shared between people, and that's why the countries are shutting them down.
They're saying it is oppression rather than copyright protection, which
is absolutely not true.
The two are almost one and the same in my mind. But,
yes, but the way they're claiming it, they want to shut us down because we're using free speech. That's basically what they're saying, which I don't believe. But anyway, the story gets better.
Not from Norway. No.
Not from Norway. No. They're looking for places where they can route stuff through, so they can circumvent laws or find loopholes and stuff like that. Go around or through, I guess is what I just said there. Certain laws, and they had a proposition or somehow acquired the right to route through North Korea.
And this is the right from North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea was like, yes, you can do this.
I actually heard that they were actually invited. Like, they were like, hey, we need a place. And North Korea's like, hey, guys, come over here.
Come over here.
It wasn't even
broadcast from North Korea.
It wasn't even Pirate Bay's idea.
It's insane. So North Korea is now basically hosting the Pirate Bay.
No.
Not the servers, but they're hosting the Pirate Bay.
Is saying that people have been suppressing their right to disseminate information. They're now being hosted by North Korea, who people aren't even allowed to have cell phones. Apparently, I was reading in North Korea, a lot of people. This is the most highly censored, especially in media and the internet, country on the planet. This is the black hole of information, and they're now hosting these information activists, basically.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? I say that it was all Dennis Rodman's idea.
Yeah, it was Dennis Rodman. He was like, hey, I was looking to download The Dark Knight Rises the other day, and I found this website called the Pirate Bay. You guys should bring it. It's pretty cool.
And Kim Jong-un was like, oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, do it.
I'm pretty sure Dennis Rodman went to North Korea, and tomorrow they're going to be still like, hey, dude, we feel really bad about this stuff we're doing. We're democratic now, and all the North Koreans got a free pony, and we're throwing our nukes in the ocean, and that's what's gonna. Really and Dennis Rodman's gonna be like, yep, all me, mission accomplished.
He's gonna shoot a basketball, and it's gonna swish on the moon, and that'll be it.
And then he'll ascend into heaven.
Yeah, and then the sun will explode behind him as he ascends too. And it'll shoot through his eyes, and it'll burn magical symbols into the ground that open a portal to the candy world.
That's what Dennis Rodman did in North Korea.
Also in Tech Talks, in January, the Library of Congress passed a law or whatever that Library of Congress passes, basically saying that you're not allowed to unlock your phone so that you can use it on other carriers. So if you have a Verizon iPhone, if you have a Verizon any phone, you're not allowed to unlock it so that you can use it on AT&T or so you can use it on Sprint. It has to stay on Verizon. Basically, that wasn't that huge of a it's not I can't use my phone anymore. It's basically just what a shitty thing to do. Because now I can't ever use this. I have to use this phone always.
And it's just that aids corporations and blocks freedom of technology, which are my two least favorite things.
You don't like freedom of technology?
No, I don't like blocking freedom of technology.
So anyway, then there was a petition. I don't know whether it was on the WhiteHouse.gov website or not, but there was a petition of 100,000 or more signatures, basically saying, "Hey, this is stupid. Don't do that." And so then the White House responded by putting out a statement that said, "Yeah, this is pretty stupid. People should absolutely be able to do whatever they want with their phones as long as they own them and they're not under contract." Brian, no one can see your fake penis.
I'm trying. There it is.
It looks like no one can see your.
Whatever.
No. Anyway, yeah. So the White House was like, "No, this is stupid." And apparently, it was not just the Library of Congress; it was literally the Librarian of Congress that decided to do this thing.
Apparently,
against the telecommunication White House people's a bunch of people's recommendation.
Are they?
He was like, "No, I'm gonna do it. I got it, guys. It's probably a good idea."
Is he even part of the legislative branch? Is that how democracy works? That if you hold a public office, you can issue a decree of a national law?
He's the head of the libraries, man. He's like the captain. He's like the admiral of librarians. He's like the god He's like the librarian guy. He's like the Pope. He's like the librarian Pope.
I think you know what they probably did if people were like, "Hey, how they were like Librarian of Congress, should people be allowed to change carriers on a phone?" And he went, "Shh," and that was how he said no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. That even like flew. That people even listened to. That shit.
It's pretty dumb.
And it also sucks that the Library of Congress, there's someone who is that friggin' primitive regarding media, like running, like the giant, the Library of Congress.
I know, it's pretty funny.
It's really bad.
Also, just a little bit of cool news. Obama announced today his new energy secretary is going to be, or he nominated a new energy secretary, Ernest Moniz. Moniz? A nuclear physicist from MIT to head up the Department of Energy, which is kind of cool.
Can we look at this guy? Can we show them this fucking dude?
This isn't him. That's
not him? Oh, I was about to say, that dude's still alive and in government? I like this.
No.
Okay,
also, happened sometime last week, C. Everett Koop died.
What the fuck is that?
C. Everett Koop! C. Everett Koop. C. Everett Koop. He was the Surgeon General for a really long time, and he's hilarious looking.
Yeah, he is hilarious looking.
It's C. Everett Koop! C. Everett Koop. Look at this dude! Look at him! Look at his beard! Yeah, it is a good one. He always wore the bow tie. Nah, he was cool.
Okay.
I don't know if he was actually a cool guy, but his name is C. Everett Koop, and he died. He's like a famous surgeon.
I don't fucking know, man.
Okay, anyway. That's here. We need to play some songs. Because the show's ending!
You want to sing tonight?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Since we switched sides, we might as well switch everything. What do you want?
I don't care.
You want reggae?
Whatever. No, not reggae. No, I don't want reggae. I don't want reggae. A cracking at midnight is bred to you by monkey bread. Soul Space Week, DR12, whatever. Evil Dead 4, Summer Mammy, Evil Dead 4, not remake. Did you see James Rolfe's review? What's better? Die Hard 5, ending up 4, MI4. It was ye, Phil says hi. What kind of sandwich is Mark having? I'm guessing tuna. Show me what democracy looks like. Peanut butter and honey, actually. That's a nice California haircut you got there. Hey, it's Lundy. What was your favorite poster I made for your show? I really enjoyed the Dr. Pepper one I made. I like the one that Samurai Jack dudes made. Brian looks like a sailor. That pick you. Brian, no one can see your fake boner. Where, oh yeah, that guy, Surgeon General, Gary bread. Ray, oh, what the censored. Here's a commercial from the 80s I don't think that I ever saw before, but now I'm obsessed with it. Just watch it. I can't get that jingle out of my head. If I saw this as a kid, I would definitely be Cold War sucks, said Mark. Cold War sucks, said Mark. Censored. Alright, everybody, thank you you very much for watching McCracken Midnight tonight. Mark, you can go straight to hell. Clone Wars is awesome. See you ever, Coop.
Which one is he talking about? Because there's now 3 Clone Wars and I think 2 video games. And some of them are good and some of them are bad. If you're talking about the bad ones, then fuck you. If you're talking about the good ones, then no way.
Wheaties breakfast of jams. Okay, we're done.
All the way around. I don't fucking
Whatever.
know.
Good night, everybody.